Hello everybody, so today I want to quickly look at something which I touched on at the end of the last lesson, which was actually about this input right here on the POP network. And if you remember, we looked at creating, let me open this a minute, come on. Alright, we looked at these static objects and we looked how we could change the parameters for each part there. So here we've got a bounce, here we had a bit more friction, etc, etc, right? But we also looked at how to connect these up, and if you remember correctly, I was able to remove this, remove these, and it's still connected just fine. Remember? Here we go. Doop. Doop. All right, super, right? So the question is, why? Why did that happen? And if you remember again, you might remember that we went in here and we just selected the part that we wanted, where it links to. Okay, like here, so that connection is unnecessary. All right, but I want to do it slightly differently this time. Let's connect all three again if we can, just in one node. So let me go to my static object. There we go, and we're just going to do it in the like old method. So this time we've got all of these nulls. We might as well keep them actually. Okay, and this time I want to add another null, and I'm going to call this out collision objects. All right, bit of a mouthful there, but it'll do the job. Okay, let's pop that there, go back to the POP network, and this time I'm going to select this here in the SOP path. Okay, so this will be this one here. Okay, and I want to, let me think here, remove this, add this to here. Okay, and yeah, okay, so all three of them have come in. Let's try to oh yeah, remember I needed to add my collisions, so we went to the rigid body solver, surface, and let's select the surface here. See how that goes. Okay, now we're good. Okay, anyway, you get the idea. So that's working. That part's not so important at this point, because what I want to show you is, if you remember correctly, I also mentioned that you can add it to one of these inputs here. Remember I added this here? Now what's the difference between this and this, doing it this way? Well, at the minute, nothing. This is the point where it starts to reference it from. But let's say we don't have this reference and I just want to reference it straight into this input here. How can I do that? Well, let's remove all of this. Okay, I've lost all my collision pieces there. And this time I'm going to have to use an expression. And this expression is called opinputpath. And what this does, it tells you they've got an operator, a node, operator node, and it wants to know where the path is for it, just like we did when we selected the null. But this time it has, with it being an expression, it has two pieces of information that I need to put in there. One of them is the name and the other one is the number of the input. So first of all, let's put in my name. This is the path to it. Now I know that I want to go to this here. I need this node. Now in order to go to my parent node, which would be this, let me go into here again. I'm going to do this piece of code. So all I'm doing is two inverted commas, and I'm going to put two dots there, and that tells me to go back to my parent. So now this is going to be going to, oops, is going to tell me that I need to go here. Now I need to select my input. Now in code, when you're coding, you would think this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's really not. It always starts at 0. So this would be 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, like this, 0, 1, 2, 3. and therefore this one here is 0, 1. So this is number 1. So let me go back to my expression. I'm going to put in my comma and comma 1. All right, but there's an error. Why is that? Well, this here now is looking for a path, a string that goes there, but this isn't a string. It won't recognize this. When it looks for the string, it's looking for this object, collision, physical properties, pupnet, etc. Right? It's looking for this string, and that's not what I've got here. So because it's a piece of code, I need to let my parameter here know that this is in fact a piece of code. And the way to do that is to add something called a backtick. I think it's called a backtick anyway. So if I hit that, it looks like this, and I put one at the end. If you're looking for that backtick, you should be able to find it if you look for your number 1 on your keyboard, and the key to the left of that should be the one with the backtick. Okay, well, certainly on my keyboard it is, and I believe on most keyboards it's like that. Okay, now I've got that piece of information in there, and up it pops. Okay, now what is the benefit of this? Well, the benefit is that now I can start adding more information in here. Okay, so for example, I can add my transform, and I want to move this around somewhere, so I want to move this all higher, and now I can move it and it will change without any dramas. If, however, I did it this way, I would have to add the transform before the null. Doesn't make a big difference. However, this is probably a much more sensible way to work. I prefer this method, so that's the reason why I just wanted to quickly show you it. So let's recap. So we go into here, we go into the static object, and then we can put the input path here. Not all nodes will need this. If you look at the source input here, it actually has it in here, initial velocity, and then source, and then I can use the first, second, third, fourth input, etc. Right? But here I don't know why that is, why I don't have that selection here. Maybe it's because it's an old node, and I'm doing something a little bit old school here. I'm not really sure. Somebody can maybe tell me that. But this is how it has to work. It's one of those things that when you've done it a few times, you remember it, but at the beginning it looks kind of weird and complicated, but it really isn't so bad. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, please put them below, and you guys have a great day.